investing is very powerful. You unlocking 5,000 Kenya shillings only each and every month and investing that money consistently at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Be sure after about 20-30 years, you're going to see your investment grow to tens of millions of Kenya shillings. In fact, in the example in this video, which we're modeling with you, you're going to see that investing only 5K each and every month for about 30 years, your investment is going to be upwards of 17 million Kenya shillings. Of course, factoring in both share price appreciation and even you reinvesting dividends, which the company is going to be paying you. That is the power of investing. And even, I remember this weekend, when I was looking at the progress Nairobi Securities Exchange has made across different stocks, I saw, like, for example, for the lifetime of some of the stocks, they have really grown. For example, Equity Bank. When that stock of Equity Bank was first listed at the NSE in 2006, that's about 20 years ago, its lifetime growth, we are talking about it having grown by 1,400%. Simply put, the stock has increased in price by 14 times. Another example, the stock of KCB. Since its listing in mid-1990s, there about 1994, 1995, roughly 30 years ago, the stock of KCB has grown by over 2,500%. Simply put, it's increased in price by over 25 times. That tells you investing for the long term is very amazing. In case you are new here, my name is Afagzat Sifuna. I am a finance expert and qualified accountant, bringing you amazing videos about making money and investing each and every day. In case these are the kind of topics which you like, down there is a button called subscribe. Click that button to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for subscribing and also dropping a like on this video. Let's start by first of all appreciating why the amount of 5K. Guys, 5K is an amount which most Kenyans can afford, right? Because you're just being asked to unlock 5K only each and every month, not daily. And in fact, even if you look at it at a daily rate, 5K divided by 30 comes to 167. Simply put, unlock 167 Kenya shillings each and every day, and in the next 20 to 30 years, you'll have tens of millions. That is a good deal, right? Because it is possible. So I've said 5K because it isn't a lot of amount of money for people to unlock. Both people are working formal jobs in Kenya, and even business people doing juakali jobs, you name it, they can be able to unlock 5K each and every month and then invest in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And all it calls for you to do is just to sacrifice. You know, out there people assume for you to invest, you need a lot of money. No, whether you have a lot of money or little money, investing calls for you to sacrifice. And the sacrifice could be, for example, you maybe reducing the amount of money you're spending every day on lunch. In case you are working maybe in an office somewhere in Nairobi, maybe Nairobi CBD, Westlands, you name it. If you typically spend 700 shillings each and every day on lunch, or 500, why not restructure that for you to be unlocking at least 167 shillings each and every day? At the end of the month, it is 5K. If, for example, every weekend you go out and then spend 10K Kenya shillings, maybe come the end of the month, you can securely unlock the 5K without even struggling. So this amount of money is within reach when it comes to most Kenyans accessing this money, because they can restructure their affairs to be able to unlock this money consistently. And if at the very end, the reward is tens of millions, why shouldn't you unlock this money? Having said that, assuming now you want to invest, okay, you've decided you want to invest, which stocks are ideal for you to invest? I've seen at the NSE, some sectors like, for example, banking sectors, has really been on a boom, more so in the recent years, okay? Because you have some companies there, like, for example, even stock of Coop has increased by over 100% over the past 1 year, okay? Some companies there like I&M, Equity, all these have increased by upwards of 10%. So it is a sector which is interesting, okay? Another sector, like, for example, insurance. We've seen some insurance companies out there. Talk about, for example, Britam, talk about, for example, Sanlam, CIC. All these insurance companies, the sector has been doing pretty well. Also, look at, for example, the energy sector has been doing pretty well at the NSE. So maybe you could look, for example, use your 5K each and every month to invest in these different sector stocks and then continue building your portfolio. Of course, you need to balance, because it's good to invest through a portfolio whereby you have some stocks, for example, in banking sector, okay? Maybe you have some stocks maybe in the energy sector, maybe stocks of maybe Kenyan, Kenya Power, Total Energies, you name it. Have some of the investment maybe in the insurance sector. And even beyond that, even we've seen, for example, telecommunication, which has Safaricom, has also done good, amazing numbers when it comes to the share price appreciating over the years, okay? So that tells you all these sectors I've talked about are possible sectors you could look to jump onto and then see your investment grow. And then, beyond just the investment growing, also, you're going to benefit from something called dividends, right? When you invest in a stock market, when your price increases or decreases, that is either capital gain or share price appreciation or share price depreciation, right? When it goes down, is share price depreciation. When it goes up, is share price appreciation. And even beyond that, we have a good chunk of mature companies which are listed at the NSE, which have a history of paying dividends, meaning each and every year, these companies through their board of directors might decide to share part of their profit with the owners of the company who are shareholders. For example, the likes of EABL, BAT, a good chunk of the banking sector companies, Safaricom, most of the companies at the NSE do pay dividends. And even last year, for example, some companies like BAT, Stanchart, even Stanbic did have dividend yields upwards of 10%. Most of them are somewhere between 5% to about 9%, with an average of about 7 to 8%. That tells you you're going to enjoy returns in two ways: share price appreciation and also dividends. So having said that, let's now look at the example with realistic assumptions, okay? For you to really understand the power of investing 5K Kenya shillings at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. If you are investing 5K each and every month, at the end of the year, it is 5K times 12. That is 60K investment, okay? At the end of 10 years, that is 60K times 10 years. That is 600,000 Kenya shillings in your principal, basically your investment in a given stock, okay? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Let's now start imposing the annual returns. Assuming on your 60K which you've invested each and every year, right? There is a return which is there at the rate of 12% per annum. In these 10 years, your 600,000 Kenya shillings which you've invested will have grown to 1.1 million Kenya shillings. Remember, your principal will be 600,000 Kenya shillings, okay? And then your interest will be almost the equivalent amount of money, because your interest will bring the total amount of your investment, assuming you're not cashing out, and the returns continue to increase by 12% each year. It's going to take your total investment to 1.1 million Kenya shillings after 10 years, okay? Now, using the same principle, after 20 years, your investment will have grown to 5 million, okay? And then after 30 years, because of the long-term time horizon, your investment will have grown to 17 million. Guys, just using these numbers, the possible math, that's what it tells you. In exactly 30 years, you're going to see your investment grow from 5K each and every month to upwards of 17 million Kenya shillings. That is a very powerful return on investment, which can make you a millionaire. What do you think about this video?